Good morning, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. I'm Highway Geometry Design of Horizontal Alignment Elements, Module 2, Session 2, Highway Engineering of 5th semester, Civil Engineering. Subject code is 18CP56. In today's lecture, let's discuss about the light reflecting characteristics of the pavement. The night visibility very much depends upon the light reflecting characteristics of the pavement surface. Usually, whenever you are traveling, particularly in the morning or in the daytime, you don't have any problem. You will not face any problem because uh, you have a good light and also the visibility. But definitely, there will be a problem during the night. So that mainly depends upon the light reflecting characteristics of the pavement surface. Here, in this we consider two types of payment and also in two conditions. One is flexible payment, the another one is the rigid payment. Flexible payment in dry condition and flexible payment in wet condition, and rigid are the concrete payment in dry condition and also the concrete payment in wet condition, that is on a rainy day or whenever there is a water on the pavement surface. The glare caused by the reflection of headlight is high on wet pavement surface than on the dry pavement surface, particularly in case of blacktop pavement or a flexible pavement. That is, the flexible pavement, whenever it is wet or whenever there is a layer of water on the flexible pavement surface, definitely under the headlight condition, it causes a glaring. It becomes very difficult for the traveling, but it does not cause any problem for if it is in a light colored pavement or a white colored pavement or a rigid pavement or a concrete pavement. Light color or a white color or a rigid pavement surface gives a good visibility at night, particularly during the rain, and also produces a glare or eye strain during the bright sunlight. That means definitely you feel little bit of difficulty on a concrete pavement during the daytime, but flexible pavement daytime is very good. You don't have any problem for traveling, but definitely on a night time it causes a problem. So it's completely reverse of both the flexible pavement as well as the rigid or the concrete. Let's see what are all the different highway cross sectional elements. First one is the carriageway, shoulder, roadway width, right of way, building line, control line, median, camber or the cross slope, crown, side slope, curb, guardrail, side rail, and other facility. Let's say what is a carriageway? It is the travel way or the distance which is used for the movement of vehicle. So that is the carriageway. The clear land width or the pavement width which is available for the movement of vehicle. It may be a cement concrete road or a bituminous pavement, or even it may not be two, even it may be a your earthen road or a jelly road. Width of the carriageway is determined on the basis of width of the vehicle and the minimum side clearance for the safety. So, how much should be provided the width of the carriageway? That mainly depends upon the width of the vehicle and also the clearance, side clearance. You should have a side clearance so that the vehicles, the overtaking vehicles, can safely pass or travel. As per the IRC specification, the maximum width of vehicle in India is 2.44 meter and minimum clearance of 0.68 meter in case of a single lane and 1.02 meter in case of a two lane. So the maximum width of the vehicle that is manufactured in India, you can say it is 2.44 meter or 2.5 meter. So there should be a clearance of 0.68 meter if it is the vehicle is traveling on a single lane and 1.02 meter if the vehicle is traveling in a two-lane road. So here I have shown the two-lane road. This is the center line of your road. This is the end marking where it shows the edge or the end of your road, and this is the carriageway. So this is the carriageway, the width or the way which is available for the movement of vehicle. The carriage width of carriageway. So this is very important. Usually, if you have a single lane road, class of road, single lane road, the width of the carriageway in meters, the unit is meter, it is 3.75 meter. Two lane without raised curb. So in the previous case, I have shown the two lane, but there was no curb end, there was no curbs were not there. So if you are constructing that type of a road, the width of the pavement is 7 meter. Two lane with raised curbs 7.5 meter. Intermediate lane 5.5 meter. So intermediate lanes have a 5.5 meter. Usually the MDRs are constructed for an intermediate lane width, that is for a 5.5 meter width. Multi-lane, probably you might be heard about 4 lane, 6 lane, 8 lane, etc. If it is a multi-lane, so the width of each lane is, it is 3.5 meter per lane. That means if you have a 3 lane means it is 3.5 into 10, that is 10.5 meter. So the total width of the carriageway is 10.5 meter in case of a 3 lane. Width of roadway for various classes of roads. So here you need to know the difference between carriageway as well as the roadway. Okay. So let's see the what is the value. Then we'll discuss about the roadway. Road classification: national highway and the state highway. If it is a single lane, plain or rolling terrain. Okay. So mountainous and steep terrain, it is 12 meter and 6.25 meter. For a two lane, it is 12 meter and 6.25 meter. MDR, it is 9 meter single lane and 4.75 meter. And two lane, 9 meter and 4.75 meter. ODR, same 7.5 meter and 4.75 meter. Two lane, 9 and 4.75 meter. Village road, 7.5 meter and 4.75 meter. Okay. So this is the roadway width which is prescribed for different road classification and also for different lanes, if it is a single lane or a two lane. Let's say the lateral placement of vehicles both in the case of a single lane as well as the two lane. So just now I said that the maximum width of the vehicle is 2.44 meter, say 2.5 meter. If that vehicle is traveling on a single lane, so this is the pavement, this is the pavement edge, this one is the hatch, one is the shoulder. So the pavement is having a width of 3.75 meter. So 2.5 meter is the width of the vehicle, the remaining 0.625 mm or 0.625 meter or 625 mm is the clear width which is available for the clearance from the road edge. 0.625 mm or 0.625 625 millimeter or 0.625 meter from the edges. In case of a two lane, so the two lane road is having a 7 meter width. So the maximum width of the vehicle is 2.5 meter. So the clear gap between the two vehicle is 1 meter. So this you should maintain 1 meter in order to avoid the accidents. So the remaining 500 mm from the edge are 0.5 meter on both the sides. So 2.5, 2.55, 6 and here it is 0.5 and 0.57 meter. So this is the lateral placement of the vehicle in case of a single lane as well as in the case of a two lane. Let's see what is a shoulder. Shoulders are provided along the road edge to serve as an emergency lane for vehicle. So if there is a breakdown, if the vehicle wants to stop, they cannot stop right in the middle of the carriageway, or they cannot stop on the carriageway. It has to come to the shoulder, then the vehicle has to park. So that's why they are provided on the road edge to serve as an emergency lane if there is a in case of a breakdown. It acts as a service lane for the vehicles that have broken down. So it acts as a service lane. The minimum shoulder width is 4.6 meter, so that the truck station at the side of shoulder should have a clearance of 1.85 meter from the pavement edge. So you have this 2.5 meter is the width, 2.5 plus 1.8. So it is almost 2.5, sorry 4.5, but they have taken it as 4.6 meter so that the truck can be stationed. So that is the minimum width 4.6 meter. IRC recommended the minimum shoulder width as 2.5 meter. The minimum width of the shoulder it should be 2.5 meter so that any truck or a long widest vehicle can park on the shoulder portion. It should have a sufficient load bearing capacity even in the wet weather. It should have a sufficient strength because the trucks usually it will be loaded. Due to that loading, sometimes if the shoulders are not properly built or if the shoulder is not having a sufficient capacity, it may sink, it may goes down. That should not happen. So for that purpose, it should have a sufficient bearing capacity. Surface of the shoulder should be rougher than the traffic lane so that the vehicles are discouraged to use the shoulder as a regular traffic. It should be rough because otherwise it is used as a regular traffic lane itself. If it is having the same riding quality as that of your carriageway or the pavement, then probably the people may use the shoulder itself as a traffic lane. So that's why they should have some rough surface. So they are discouraged. They should feel some discomfort. Then they are not going to use this shoulder as a regular traffic lane. The color should be different from that of a pavement so as to be distinct so that you can make out easily which one is shoulder and which one is the carriageway. So here you can see the paved shoulder. This is an example of a paved shoulder because the shoulder is also constructed by using the bitumen. So this is the carriageway, this is the center line and this is the edge or the end of your carriageway. So this is the shoulder which is paved. It can be a 2.5 meter or depending upon the class of road, this shoulder width is prescribed. The same thing if we are in an urban area, we call that shoulder as a footpath. So this is a cycle track exclusively for the movement of vehicle cycles and this is the footpath you can see. Here also it is paved footpath. Here I have taken a photo of a highway, okay, national highway. So here you can see that two types of shoulder. One is untreated shoulder, second one is treated shoulder. Here you can see this is the edge of your pavement, this is the carriageway, this is the center line. Here you can see the rough surface and also made of a gravel or a moram, earth, soil. So this type of a shoulder is called as an untreated shoulder. Here you can see that the shoulder is also made of bitumen. So this is called as a treated shoulder. Width of the carriageway or the formation width of the roadway. So width of the roadway, it is a sum of width of carriageway or the pavement including separators if any and shoulder. So the roadway includes, that is the roadway width includes your regular carriageway width plus separators if there is a median or any separators in between and the width of your shoulder. All this includes your roadway. Whereas the carriageway is only the portion of a road which is exclusively reserved for the movement of vehicles. The clear space or the clear width or the travel way which is available for the movement of traffic. That is the carriageway, whereas the roadway it includes carriageway plus separators and shoulders, if any. Right of way, it is the total area of land acquired for the road along its alignment is the called as a right of way. It depends upon importance of the road and the possible future development. Usually, the right of way, we need to acquire more land at the initial stage itself so that the future development becomes easy. The future development here means if you want to convert a single lane into two lane or a two lane into a three lane, definitely you require more land. So at later on stages you cannot acquire the land because as soon as you build a road, the land cost goes up. Many structures, many commercial establishment or even maybe the houses come up adjoining to your road. So obviously when all these facility come up, the cost of the land will going to be increased enormously. So at the later stages you cannot acquire the land. So for that purpose it is very much essential that you acquire the land, more land at the initial stage itself so that the future expansion will be easy. It is desirable to acquire more width of a land at the cost of adjoining land invariably increases much as soon as the highway is constructed. Building lane. In order to reserve a sufficient space for the future development of roads, it is desirable to control the building activities on either side of the road boundary beyond the land width acquired for the land. So as soon as the road is constructed, so particularly in India and in the villages and on both the national highways and also in the state highways, you see that number of commercial establishment, number of buildings will come up. You should allow that building to come up so that it will be very nearer to your highway line. This should be avoided because the future expansion it becomes difficult. Otherwise, all this again structure needs to be dismantled. So, in order to avoid that, you have a demarcation at the site, control line, building line, etc. So, building lines are the lanes in which beyond which only your building activity should start, or you can construct the building. Control lines. In addition to the building line, it is desirable to control the nature of building up to further setback distances. So those are called control lines. Traffic separators or medians. The main function is to prevent the head-on collision between the vehicles moving on opposite direction. That is the main function of a traffic separators or the median. So you are streamlining the traffic. So both the ongoing and also the vehicles coming from the opposite direction, they are streamlined. Channelize the traffic into streams at intersection so that in the intersection or a junction you will not be having any problem. Segregate slow traffic and also the protect pedestrian. So slow moving vehicle can move on the one side and also the pedestrian, right, whenever they want to cross the road you can safeguard them if you have this median. IRC recommends a minimum desirable width of 5 meter and may be reduced to 3 meter where the land is not available or restricted. So the minimum width of the traffic separators or the median it should be 3 meter. But again it depends upon where you are providing and also the whether that much of land is available or not. The minimum width of a median in urban area is 1.2 meter. Okay, so the 4 feet or 1.2 meter is the minimum width that should be kept for the traffic separators or the median. So here you can see this median or the separators, traffic separators. Here you can take the service lines if you want to take. You can take the gas line, pipeline, water supply line, or some electricity line, whatever the utilities you want to take. The service lines can be taken, and also here you can see the street lights. The street lights are can be placed in between these space that is in the median of the traffic separators. So this is a regular carriageway, right? Here the shoulder, the center line, and also the end of your road or the edge of your road. Cross slope or a camber is a slope provided to the road surface in the transverse direction to drain off the water from the road surface. Particularly in the rainy season, whenever the water falls on the road surface, it should not stagnate. It should be easily disposed. So this is possible only by providing the cross slope or a camber. To prevent the entry of surface water into the separate soil through the pavement. What is the purpose of providing this camber? so that you are preventing the entry of water into the subgrade soil. So it is nothing but the raising the center line of the road with respect to the edges to prevent the entry of water into the bituminous pavement layer, so that you can protect the bituminous layer. To remove the rainwater from the pavement surface as quickly as possible and to allow the pavement to get dry soon after the rain. You want to make that surface, the surface characteristics of the dry. Just now we discussed about uh, the effect of dryness and also the wetness on the pavement surface. So you want to make the pavement surface dry as soon as possible. So for that purpose, you need to provide a camber or a cross slope. It is expressed in percentage or 1 vertical to n number horizontal. It depends on pavement surface and also the amount of rainfall. So what is the percentage of camber or a cross slope? It mainly depends upon the type of surface, whether it is a flexible pavement, whether it is earthen surface, whether it is a concrete pavement, and also the rainfall area. Where heavy rainfall area, you will be providing more percentage. In a less rainfall area, you are providing a less percentage of. Let's see what are all the different shape of camber or a cross slope. Usually, they are classified into parabolic shape for the fast moving vehicles, straight line, and also the combination of parabolic and also the straight. The recommended values of camber for different types of road surfaces. This is very important for both the heavy rainfall area as well as the light rainfall area, depending on the type of pavement. If it is a concrete pavement and a high type of bituminous pavement, heavy rainfall area, you need to provide a camber of 2%, whereas in a light rainfall area, 1.7%, 1 in 50 to 1 in 60. Thin bituminous surface, 2.5% or 1 in 40 in a heavy rainfall area, 1 in 50 in a light rainfall area or a 2%. Waterborne macadam, 1 in 33 or 3% and 1 in 40. Earthen, 1 in 25 or 4%. Either. So this is very important, right? So the different types of pavement surface and also depending upon the heavy and also the light rainfall area, you are providing the camber percentage. Usually you will be providing 2 to 3% depending on the type of pavement and also the rainfall area. Too steep camber is not desirable because uncomfortable as a side thrust and unequal wear of the tire as well as on the road surface. You feel uncomfortable whenever you are traveling on the road surface because of too much of camber, and because of this camber and also there is a level difference, you can see the wear and tear of the vehicle, more wear and tear of the vehicle, particularly on the one side. Then problem of over toppling of the laden bullock cart and also the, so this problem will also be there. So in case of a bullock cart and also the truck, you can have this over toppling because of the more tendency of the most vehicle to travel along the central line. So you can see that more of a vehicles travel along the central line. So this has to be avoided because if you provide too much of camber on one side. Okay, remaining thing we will discuss in the next class. So these are the different shapes of the camber. Here you can see the parabolic shape, straight camber, which is provided on the road surface, combination of both the parabolic as well as the straight. So here this is the rise. So usually we consider 1 in n or 1 in x. This is the call it as a y. W is the pavement width. W by 2 is the half of the pavement. So 1 in n. So usually the most common type of camber provided on the road surface is the parabolic shape. So here you can see, if you just see this shape, y, this rise. or the difference is given by 2x square by n into w. W is the width, 1 in n is the slope, 1 in n. 2x square, this is x, the distance, this is x. Let's see some of the multiple choice questions based on our discussion. The concrete roads give a better visibility during dash time, daytime, afternoon, night, both day and night. So the answer is during night. The glare caused by the reflection of headlight is dash on wet pavement surface than on the dry pavement in case of flexible pavement. The glare caused by the reflection of headlight is high, low, same, medium. Answer is high A. The maximum width of vehicle as per IRC specification in India is 1.44 meter, 2.44 meter, 3 meter, 6 meter. The answer is B, 2.44 meters. The width of the single lane road in India is 3.5 meter, 3.75 meter, 5.5 meter, 3 meter. Answer is B, 3.75 meter, whereas 5.5 meter is for an intermediate. The minimum center clearance between the two vehicles traveling on a two-lane road is 0.75 meter, 0.625 meter, 1 meter, zero point 0.5 meter. The answer is zero point 1 meter, 1.0 meter. 0.625 meter, it is for a single lane. So 1 meter is for a two lane. The minimum shoulder width as per IRC in highway is 2 meter, 2.5 meter, 3 meter, 10 meter. Answer is B, 2.5 meter. The surface of the shoulder normally should be dash than traffic lanes. Higher, rougher, smoother, harder. Answer is B. It should be rougher than the regular traffic lane, so that you are discouraging the shoulder to be as a regular traffic lane. So it should be rougher. Flexible pavement has a cross slope of dash percent in heavy rainfall area as per IRC. 2.5, 4, 2, 3%. Answer is 2.5%. 1 in 40. The most common type of a camber provided on the roads in India is parabolic, straight, combination of parabolic and straight, all the above. Answer is A, parabolic shape. Earthen roads have a more or a greater camber than WBM road surface. False, true, can't say, none of the above. Answer is true B. Thank you.